Unbelievable. Houston. Houston. Live. ABC 13 Houston is flooding. It's really, I will link below homes and cars underwater. I mean, really, Houston? Okay. I have to pause you for a second because I just realized I want to take a look at that satellite and the radar that I showed earlier. And here it is. This was at 8:16 a.m. this morning on the East Coast. So it was, are you 2 hours behind? I think so. So this was at 6 a.m. and there was, where is the weather? How did you suddenly get massive flooding in Houston? Well, look at all of the frequencies in play. When man controls the weather, anything can happen. Okay, so let's take it all the way to the end to see what's happening. Live coverage to continue.
Press this right here.
Yes.
You know, what kind of things have you seen since you've been driving around?
We've pulled about 4 or 5 cars out already. People sitting in their cars, they just didn't want to leave their car.
Rain falling there. How's it looking?
So we tried to get out of the neighborhood where we were, and we only got 2 blocks before we ran into this main road. And there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 cars stopped in this road. We realized that the scanner traffic was talking about this exact place, Lake Bridge and Reading. If we flip around, I'll show you one truck is trying to go through it now. Most people are not trying, and some, as you can tell, are stuck there. We probably have more than a dozen cars here. The fire department is on their way. So as you can tell, because of how fast it's coming down, it's just so fast that the car, in 20 minutes, it goes from nothing to filled like this, and now they're stuck. Bill and Lauren?
I'm sorry, something else is going on here. You guys in Texas, in Houston, could you let us know, did the rain come down so, well, we've had torrential rainfalls before, and never did we see this kind of flooding. So, are they closing off the storm drains? I can't believe that this is taking place. All right, this is what's happening now. You see that burst of frequencies? Right there. Where did this come from? They manufactured it. They manufactured it. So now they're claiming that we have line storms. Line storms. This is the line of storms. We did not see this on a regular basis. The severity, this is what the satellite is showing you. All of these, well, that's quite a line right there. But this is high frequency heating from our Doppler radar stations. This is not what we have. This is unprecedented, but it's not from climate change or global warming. Look how nicely flatlined is this cloud up here. Unbelievable. Yeah, you can have tornadoes, you can have baseball-sized hail, you can have a whole lot. They can manufacture cyclones, they can manufacture a tremendous amount of differing severe weather fronts. But look at all of this. And this is what I'm seeing, and I have been seeing for the past 2 months. All of the flooding, that took place in Iowa and Nebraska, South Dakota. This is what we have been seeing. Man's hand in these storms. They're working it. They're working it and bringing an awful lot of destruction. And guys, it really pisses me off that, Americans just look at us like we're crazy. Strong tornadoes a threat as severe weather strikes with flooding, rain, baseball-sized hail. Baseball-sized hail. Extreme thunderstorms have already unleashed hail as large as baseballs and flooding rainfall in West Texas and Oklahoma Tuesday afternoon. Hail larger than a quarter was spotted north of Andrews, Texas. Baseball-sized hail was confirmed near Lake Meredith and Fritch, Texas. Yeah, solid chunks of ice can cause a tremendous amount of damage. And the flooding. Hail reports. Lake Meredith, Fritch, Dumas, Masterson. If that hit somebody in the head, it could kill them. So you can, look, they're so putting this in our face now that, and yeah, they keep saying climate change and global warming. Well, we all know that that is the lie that they are using as they modify the weather. Tornadoes have hit 6 states with unusual frequency in 2019. One state has seen 4 times its average, Mississippi. The average is 21 tornadoes through April. They saw 83 through the first 4 months of this year. Alabama, 71 tornadoes compared to 22. Georgia, 53 compared to 14. Missouri, 44 compared to 16. God. Well, it's just gonna, it will continue.
When it happened the first time, they said it was a 1 in 500 year event. And then it happened again like 3 weeks later. So evidently, something's changing.
Yes, so look into weather modification, please, and geoengineering. Man, that was a face palm. That was a, yep. Did you hear the slap? Man. All right, what are they doing now? Well, they're going to turn the area green. All of this is, it's the playbook of Agenda 2030.
Continuing coverage now of our flood alert. Drone video shows the devastation the rising Mississippi River is causing in Lincoln County. This is Winfield, where hundreds have been sandbagging for several days. The river there reached its 4th highest level in recorded history yesterday. And even though it's starting to drop, the pressure on the Pin Oak levee is concerning.
Farther up north is Foley. The town of about 200 people is mostly underwater, including several acres of farmland. The river is about a mile out of its banks. Across the river, sandbagging efforts are underway in Hardin, Illinois. The concern there is the Nutwood levee along the Illinois River protecting Route 16. Downriver in St. Charles County, the flooding Mississippi has put some places out of business.
This is the road we would be driving in on right here.
The only way to get to the boathouse in St. Charles County, well, is by boat.
The river is right on the other side of that row of trees.
The owners of the boathouse food and deck ride over every day to see how the restaurant is doing. And along the way, you see the top of mailboxes.
It's a mailbox. Oh, it makes me sick.
A speed limit sign surrounded by water, and a road that's made for cars now acts like a river.
When you see that last tree, we're in the real Mississippi River.
Okay, now this is the latest drone footage of St. Charles from those levee breaches, more flooding. Farmland. Okay, well, we will all be affected, but I need to do this. I need to do this. A patent, hurricane and tornado control device. You can affect the formation and direction of weather system by projecting sound waves toward the periphery of weather systems, and sound waves can cause it to rain. Wow, really? Okay, so when you see what's happening on the periphery, these extremely low frequencies, sound waves. Oh, and that was one hell of a shot, wasn't it? Right here. Coming up. All of the fanned out lines that you are seeing are the extremely low frequencies, sound waves. So, let me also bring you to another patent, weather modification by artificial satellite. What can it do? Influence the jet stream, cause precipitation, increase the humidity, modify the jet stream path, and therefore modify the weather. Or they could cause rapid heating of air masses. They can create a whirlwind or a small tornado. The whirlwind or tornado strength can be increased or decreased by combining and colliding many smaller whirlwinds together. They can mitigate the tornado, influence wind speed. They can generate acoustic waves, which can influence wind speed and the direction of that wind speed. Oh my God, it came out of nowhere. Acoustic energy associated with mesocyclones indicates a strong correlation with tornadic activity. Create high humidity air mass or form clouds. Increase the moisture content of the air mass. Cosmic particle ignition of artificially ionized plasma patterns in the atmosphere. Weather control applications. Modification of the steering winds that influence weather phenomena. Influence the charge distribution in mesocyclones. Lightning. Steering winds, localized heating, influence the charge. Yes, I just read that. Okay, how do we get through to people that we are actually living war? Atmospheric heating as a research tool. The microwave heating technologies provide methods for rapidly heating well-defined regions of a weather system. Heating rain droplets with microwaves. It's hard to know that these storms are being created by man, and to watch the devastation to people's lives is really, it's just getting They can intensify tornadoes, near surface intensification of tornado vortices. And yes, the high power, extremely low frequency radiation generated by modulated high frequency heating of the ionosphere can cause earthquakes, cyclones, localized heating. And that is what you see right here. Let me get it to the satellite off the radar. High frequency heating. High frequency heating. Well, they could even load tornadoes with fine scale debris to intensify them. All right. Hi, everybody. It is May 9, 2019. Unbelievable what is taking place, and more flooding coming to an awful lot of areas that have been hit for a very long time. Well, it's going to continue throughout the weekend, starting tonight. Thunderstorms. Okay, I'll get into that, but let me start with what is taking place in Greece again. This is Greece again. Flash flooding, severe weather in Eastern Europe. Unbelievable. And you know what? People still are not waking up to what is taking place. And I posted videos on the flooding that was taking place in Greece. They're being hit repeatedly as well. Paraguay. Emergency in Paraguay after flooding from torrential rains declared a state of emergency along the border with Argentina as rains swell rivers and cause floods. 40,000 Paraguayans forced to evacuate their homes. And one Paraguayan said, "The government treats us like animals. It should have rolled up its sleeves and built a defensive barrier along the coast to avoid the waters from reaching low-lying flood-prone slums." And it didn't. Well, guess what? We're all in this together, and no government is helping the people. We're not getting any help from the National Emergency Office. Great Lakes water levels at precipice of a disaster with flooding occurring or imminent in New York, Ohio, and Michigan.
Multiple Great Lakes are at dangerously high water levels, putting communities around Lake Ontario and Lake Erie on edge. A massive winter snowpack and wind-driven rain has contributed to the water levels. Now we want to show you something. Marquette, Michigan has seen over 225 inches of snow this season, and on top of that, over a foot of rain has fallen for multiple cities over the Great Lakes. Officials in New York State warned that residents on the coast of Lake Ontario should prepare for possible major flooding in the coming days. The Army Corps of Engineers predicts Lake Superior and Lake Erie will soon reach potentially record-breaking high water levels coming up, and flooding has already begun. In Oak Harbor, Ohio, floodwater is inching dangerously close to homes. And in Monroe County in southeast Michigan, firefighters rescued residents trapped in their homes. Lakes Michigan and Lake Huron are also clocking in above average, but are not expected to break any records quite yet.
Lots of flooding. Oh, man. Water levels on the Great Lakes are running high. New York State is bracing for flooding along the shoreline of Lake Ontario. Lakeshore flooding is already occurring in northwestern Ohio and southern eastern Michigan. And yeah, all along the shoreline of Lake Ontario. You're looking at disaster. That's according to Governor Andrew Cuomo, National Guard on standby. Ontario, Canada, Toronto Islands, properties along the shoreline, more flooding coming your way. Port Clinton, Oak Harbor, Fairport Harbor were among the northwestern Ohio towns dealing with lakeshore flooding on Wednesday. The only way to get around Port Clinton was by boat or paddleboard. Southeastern Michigan, residents of Monroe County's Berlin Township became trapped in their homes by high water along the shore of Lake Erie on Wednesday. Firefighters used a boat to rescue those who were stranded. This is Estrel Beach in Berlin Township, Michigan. 6-month bulletin put out by the Army Corps of Engineers. You got 6 months of possible flooding because the Great Lakes are above average. They've received above average precipitation in the month of April, 24% more than ever. Climate change is the reason. Yes, climate change. Climate change. Oh, it is increasing the intensity of the most extreme rainfall events. These events are quite consistent with what scientists have been expecting for a long time with long-term climate change patterns. We can't seem to. I hate it that lies are winning. Taylor, Michigan, Wednesday, May 1, 2019. Look at that flooding, okay? This kind of flooding all over. You got it in Greece, you got it in Paraguay, you got it in so many states. In the United States, you got it in Canada. We never saw rain like this. You're going to tell me that this is climate change, global warming, which would come about if it was actually true, climate change, global warming. The changes would not happen like overnight. It wouldn't happen with radical changes overnight. It would be incremental changes. Minnesota got about a foot of snow just yesterday.
Internet, I'm Matt Brickman. This is the 734 from WCCO. It is May. Does not look like it, though. Take a look at this nonsense. Duluth set a record with more than 8 inches of snow yesterday. That is the most it has snowed on a day in May since we've been keeping weather records, so more than 140 years, and we literally have no record of this ever happening before in the month.
In the month of May, and 8 inches in Duluth, and it was 11.5 inches in other parts of Minnesota. Colorado got hit with an awful lot of snow. Commencement ceremonies in Denver will be, well, I guess they're going to have to move those ceremonies because of the snow that they got. A flash flood watch is in effect starting today at 1 p.m. and continuing through Saturday, 7 p.m. And where are we? Houston, Galveston, Texas. You have the forecasts. You have mucho rain coming after you've received mucho rain already.
This hit hard Tuesday. The other was Kingwood, and there's still a lot of saturated areas there, and that has families worried sick. If a massive amount of rain falls in Kingwood tonight, it could be catastrophic.
Our Brandon Walker covered the flooding fallout in Kingwood yesterday. He's back in that community tonight, and Brandon, a lot of nervous people there as we wait for this storm.
And Dominica, that's the key word here, waiting. We are in the Elm Grove neighborhood, which saw those 10 inches of water. And so today, you've got people gutting out their homes. That's a door frame right there. They're watching and they're waiting for tonight with more weather on the way.
right, send it over. It's heavy. Can I help you? Thank you so much. No problem.
It's what Tracy Ferris and Juliana Shoney felt was the right thing to do.
We just want to try to do what we can.
They're teachers, and in every sense of what that means, today they took their classroom to the flood-weary, spreading a lesson of kindness, dropping off buckets of cleaning supplies, other essentials too, to those cleaning up. Water was over my waist, like John Reedy. His home, most of the Elm Grove neighborhood, ground zero for Tuesday's flooding. Crews have gutted that damage just in time, potentially, for round 2.
I think what we had was 8 to 10, something like that. That's what I picked up. If we get 8 to 10 inches, yeah, but I just don't think, the odds of that happening are that good.
The 10 inches dumped Tuesday have drained in this neighborhood that never flooded, and the creek that runs behind Reedy's home is at a good level. Neighbors say they're watching and waiting, as are first responders. Precinct 4 Constable Mark Herman showed Channel 2 2 of the new rescue boats purchased. Their fleet includes 5-ton...
Fabulous. New rescue boats. Oh, man. Yeah. I have never seen it as bad as it has been. And this isn't going to stop. They have ramped up the weather, using it as a weapon, and it's only accelerating. I think that, they're getting impatient and they're just throwing everything at us now. There's no way to stop any of this. It's amazing.
Round of severe storms slamming the south overnight with heavy rains and tornadoes, ripping walls completely off an apartment building. Ginger's here with more. Good morning, Ginger.
Good morning, Michael. I wish I could tell you that Shreveport, Louisiana is the only place we're seeing images like this where people are walking through water, cars are submerged, but it's not. Even this morning, flash flood alerts from Corpus Christi to just outside of Memphis. Tornado warnings embedded there, too.
At least 4 new tornado reports in the latest outbreak. Overnight, flash flooding swallowing cars and homes in Shreveport, Louisiana, forcing water rescues. 4 to 5 inches of rain falling in just a few hours. In Arkansas, severe storms ripping the roof off this apartment building. 4 people injured, 2 of them by flying debris.
The extent of the damage to the building is extensive. So when you look at the damage and not to have more people hurt, we're very blessed.
In Little Rock, it was the inundated streets, water rushing around homes, and the Kansas Turnpike near Wellington, underwater. This car washed off the road. Plus, Sayre, Oklahoma, water right up to the highway. Heavy rains swamping parts of Texas, too, and new video from several Houston neighborhoods underwater. Many drivers were forced to abandon their cars or attempt to push them out.
So in this moisture-laden outbreak of storms are
Louisiana. And there are other videos on YouTube, neighborhoods, Louisiana, lots of streets are flooded. And this is, where is this? Canton, Missouri, Gregory Landing, Missouri, Alexandria, Missouri. Farmland. Farmers have been devastated, absolutely devastated. It just, every day it looks like it's just expanding, the flooding. Look at this. I don't see how a lot of people are going to be able to recover from this, based on how, well, the farmers, their land sitting in so much water for long periods of time, It's planting season except for farmers affected by major flooding. Missouri River swamped Scott Olson's land in March. Flooding tore holes in his fields and left mounds of debris. He's not entirely sure he'll plant corn and soybeans this season on the flooded acres. Once again, here we go.
This is an alley on the south side of Chicago. Instead of cars driving through it, garbage cans floated by. Residents are wondering why their tax dollars can't be used to fix the flooding. CBS 2's Vince Girasoli takes us to a neighborhood full of frustration.
Boots are needed to slosh down this alley in the Mount Greenwood neighborhood.
So this is a common occurrence that happens every time it rains. Our alley gets flooded, the water comes up into the garages.
The water comes up and the garbage cans come down.
This happens every single time it rains.
Floating Fritos side by side with a ramen noodles package and a buoyant banana and bottle. All that garbage won't just disappear on its own.
This will probably take 3 days, 4 days before it dries up, and then we'll have a muddy mess for a couple days. We'll have to come out here and clean up all the trash out of it and you know, let it dry completely.
So I'll show you the deepest part where it goes, which is up here.
Ryan Franzen is fed up with the alley turned river too.
It's aggravating. It's aggravating. You just kind of learn to suck it up and deal with it, but it's not right. We don't care how it gets fixed. We just need it fixed. We do our part, pay our taxes. We're just asking for a little bit of help, that's all.
A little help.
Yeah, look. We get screwed all the time by our government officials. Americans, you need to really wake up. You pay your taxes. That money is going somewhere, but it's not going for the services that you think your tax money is going to. And this is going to continue, and it's going to worsen. It's going to get so bad that Americans are just, I guess, hopefully they'll get outraged and begin to question their city officials, their government officials. You know, much of the taxes that Americans are paying, well, we know taxes, it's theft. It's theft of your money, but it's so theft when you pay the taxes in your community and you are not getting the services that we once got. Well, now, forget about it. They don't seem to be, they don't care. They don't, look, they don't care about you. They don't care about you. So, communities have to come together and start caring and start thinking about how you are going to survive. Mississippi. So many trees are down all over the place. I will link below to everything, and you know, I was watching this video, and I believe this is in Texas. This man is just driving through May 8, what 5 inches of rain in 12 hours looks like.
Well, we got about 5 inches of rain overnight. Last night, so I'm going to kind of take you for a little tour of the country around here. Some of the neighbors were going down Bushnell Road. This is cow pasture over here, so it's not good, but you know, it could be worse. This is cotton field over here. It's nothing sticking up out of it either. It's pretty terrible.
All right, I will link below, and he just drives through and shows how many farms, and I guess ranches as well, are flooded out. And more rain is coming.
Are threatening local Independence business, and it isn't the first time. In fact, 41 Action News has visited Fairmount Liquor through at least 4 different floods, and the problem still isn't fixed.
So these are the storms on radar, and I came over here about an hour ago, and they're already looking quite different, especially in Texas. So are you experiencing now in East Texas and Houston area thunderstorms? Because that's what we're calling for, and thunderstorms throughout the weekend in the south. It doesn't look like much happening up here in the north. So all of this is manufactured by man. Now look at it on satellite. I mean, it doesn't even look like the satellite that we used to see. You know, all of this rain, it looks like it's stretching up, but this is the high frequency heating that I've spoken of very often. Looks like more storms in Florida as well. So let's just do a quick composite radar check. And you can see, I mean, and we've got our meteorologists saying nothing about. Look at this. I mean, it looks like a freaking light show or something. All of these very defined circular lines, that's the Doppler NexRad radar spewing its high frequency heating, controlling these storms, intensifying, manipulating, steering. Well, love to hear from all of you, especially in these states, Michigan, Ohio, Kansas, my God, Texas, Mississippi, Louisiana, Arkansas, Missouri, Minnesota, Michigan. How are you guys doing? New Yorkers, Northern New Yorkers, how are you doing? It's unbelievable that we are living this. But we are living it. We are living it.